welcome back to the channel. We are improvising my spaghetti in Mexico. Okay, we've cut up the purple onion and some poblano pepper, which is a better buy for your money here. Anything that's not native to the country is going to be more expensive. And we've got some res, which that's what they call beef. Molida means that it's the chopped up, like ground. Okay, and we've got some spaghetti by Moderna. And this is more economical than the other brands also because this is made here. We're also going to add a little trick to this to make it more like my homemade spaghetti. So we're going to start getting this in the pan and getting these ingredients going. Okay, we're at the stove. I'm going to show you how to turn their stove on. They use a different kind of gas here. Okay, here you're going to just take the knob and turn it to this area. And you're going to have to get one of these, a lighter, or one of these is safer. And then you just put it to it. Well, you better turn the right one on. That one. Something's keeping it from coming on. Okay, now, see that? And then it'll come on. Okay? And just look at these little things here. It'll show you. That's the back corner. Down, right. And we want this eye that's right there. Okay, that one right there. Okay, so we've got the burner on now. And we're ready to start adding our ingredients. Okay. Let's get all these green peppers and onions going with that ground beef in the pan. Okay, we're getting all these vegetables so we can start these in the pan and get these going so we can brown our ground beef. Okay, molida res. Okay. We don't have any oil or anything in the pan, but we're going to try not to add any because we're going to add the ground beef, and that's going to be the oil in the pan. So we won't need anything else. Okay. We're just going to add that ground beef to it. Okay. I'm going to start chopping that up. Keep moving this around and chopping it up and get that ground beef to start browning. Okay, and we're starting to get a little juice in the pan. That's what we wanted, so we didn't have to add anything. Okay, we're going to put a top on this, and we're going to try to get our spaghetti going. We're going to get some water in this pan and get our spaghetti boiling and ready to go. I normally don't use water from the faucet, but if it's water that you're going to boil, I would say it's okay. But if it's not water that you're going to boil, it's not necessarily going to be good to use. So we're just going to fill this up and get this water boiling for our spaghetti to get cooked. Okay, we're going to check on this meat, see how we're doing. It is starting to brown. Now the difference in their ground beef and ours is their ground beef is much more tender. Yeah, much more tender than ours. Yeah, very easy to eat. Yeah. Okay, we're gonna add some garlic powder. And make sure when you're looking for your seasonings, you want to get the powder, polvo, because you don't want it to be salty. And if you get the sals, it's going to be salty. Okay, add a little garlic powder. Then we're going to add, they don't have our traditional chili powder, so what I use is, this is a dry form of tomato paste, and I just use a little bit of that to kind of make my where I would use some seasoning. I use this as my additional seasoning, and don't use too much of that because there is a little bit of a salt content to that, and that's another reason why I don't add any additional salt. And then we're gonna add some mushrooms to this. And here, champiñones is mushrooms, okay? See, we're cooking and learning Spanish. All right now, people. And then we've got pimiento negra molida grado. See? So this is a finer grade, and that's black pepper. We're going to add a little bit of that. Okay. This is smelling really good. Yes, it is. Smelling really good. So we're going to continue to mix this around, and that's probably about all the seasoning you're going to need. Now I do buy some of the beef sausage, and if you like, you can take one of those sausages and cut it up real good, and add this to it to give it, make it your own, something a little different. I always like to add something different to give it another little extra to it. And I think I will do that. I'm gonna go ahead and put this top on this and let it continue to cook. And that water's still not quite boiling yet, so we're gonna leave that alone to keep cooking. Okay, like I said, you might want to add something to take up the taste a little notch, and these are beef sausages. So I'm going to take one of these, and of course my Old Faithful avocado, and I'm going to add those to this. Let me get one of these out of here. I'm just going to use one. You only need one. And I'm going to take this and cut this. Yeah, we're going to cut this. Okay. Cut it again. Yep. Okay. And then we're just gonna get that in there. See, it doesn't break all the way up. Make sure it breaks up. Okay. We're gonna take this sausage here. We're gonna put it in the pan. Okay, and we're just gonna put that in there and let that go ahead and cook too. Alrighty. Now we need to just come over here and do our avocado. So we do want that to be a part of the mix. Anytime you want to take something up a notch, I think sausage and avocado is the way to do it. Yeah. Okay. spoon and get this avocado out of here. And that's how you know if that avocado is ripe. If you can get that out with a spoon, nice and easy, then you know it's ripe. Okay. Okay. We'll just cut that off. Uh-oh, a little part of that might have not been as ripe. And we're just going to slice this up. Now you can always take this with your tomato sauce and just pour some in the little blender and just blend it just to make sure in case it's not all the way ripe, because you do want that avocado to break down in the mix. Doesn't necessarily need to be seen, it just needs to be tasted, and that's that buttery, nice, rich taste that avocado gives your food. Okay, so if you need to, before you add the sauce, this does have a little, yeah, it might not be just as ripe as I like it. So when we get ready to add the sauce, remember we're going to blend this up in the little blender just a little bit to make that more creamy and buttery added to the sauce. Okay, we're checking on that meat, and it's coming along real nicely. See how easy it is? Just chop that ground beef up, very easy. Okay, we added that other. Now we're gonna add our mushrooms. We already poured the water off of it. We're gonna add those to the mixture. You can cut them up if you like, but you don't have to, okay? So it's just all in preference. I mean, once you get them in the pan, you can do a little chop to them if you like, but it's not really necessary. And then you're just going to mix that in there. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Now if you find some of those pieces might be a little too big for you, just take them out, cut them up, you know, or before you add them, you make sure you cut those up. Okay, we're going to go ahead and open our spaghetti. For this, we're going to use at least a whole pack. Serving on here says for 9, and it's really just me and Debo, but here I like to cook enough to where if somebody stops by, you can share. So we're just going to put that top over there. There's the water, and I like to do it in 3 sections. 1, 2, and then 2, 3. Yeah. And then we're going to take the rest of it. Yeah. There we go. And once again, 1, and then 2, 3. There we go. And we got that on. Just add a little salt to that to encourage the boil. Yeah. Get a nice boil going on that. Okay. Put that top on that. Okay, here I'm thinking this meat is pretty much done. So, yeah, it's nice. At this point is when you're gonna do your little taste test and make sure it's tasting the way you want it to. Okay, see if there's anything you might want to add. Now remember, this here, you want it to have a strong flavor, because once you add the pasta, that'll thin your flavor out, and then you're going to also add some sauce. Okay, so you don't want the sauce and the pasta to take all your flavor away. Okay. So when we do add the sauce, we are going to add a few more seasonings to it. Not salt, but there will be a few more seasonings to that. We're going to start preparing our sauce now. Okay. This is the kind of sauce you're going to use that doesn't have any extras in it, just the plain sauce. And like I said, this is going to be more economical because this is a local brand. And here's our avocado. And then if you have fresh garlic and you decide to blend this up, let's go ahead and get a piece of that fresh garlic put in there also. Yeah. Get a nice size piece or two to put in there. Yeah, depends on if you like garlic like I like garlic. You know, you put it in to your heart's content. Okay, we got a piece of that. Back in there. Okay. So we're just gonna skin that off. You all know how to skin your garlic, I'm sure. Okay. Skin this piece also. Okay. That came right out nicely, and just set that aside. Now, just take that and smash it out if you need to. At least take that edge off of it. I'm going to add this to the avocado. Make sure you don't get any of that skin in there. Okay. Take this little thing off. And when you open these up, just pop the top and you pull this little tab that pulls the skin off of it. Then you're just going to pour enough in here, get some juice rolling. Yeah, you don't have to fill it up. We just want to get enough in there that we can get that garlic and that avocado in there, and we can make a nice little paste out of that. At this point, if you like, you can also add some more onion. You know, everything is to flavor, so that's just totally up to you. So, let's get this put on here. And we're going to, there we go. Alrighty. Okay, and we've got that mixed up really nicely and ready to go in the sauce. So we're going to check on this spaghetti. I'm thinking the spaghetti's ready. But you know that famous test. Just take a piece of that out of there. Does that stick to the wall? No, it's not ready yet. We're going to give it a few more minutes. Yeah, we're going to give that pasta a few more minutes. I believe that meat is nice. Oh, look at that. That smells wonderful. Yes, that is smelling wonderful. Oh, yes. I'm going to turn that down. Now, one thing I'm going to do, because I was telling you we have a surprise. I could not find the type of cheese that I wanted to use, which is just like your yellow shredded cheese. So I opted to get this sliced cheese because I know how it's going to act. One thing you got to be careful of cheese in Mexico, some of that cheese is not a joke. It's really rubbery like, and I just didn't want that consistency in the spaghetti. I wanted the cheese flavor, but I didn't want the cheese to overtake it. So these slices melt down really similar to Velveeta. So if you see this brand, you can get this brand and you'll know how it's going to taste and how it's going to do, because it's excellent on grilled cheese sandwiches. Excellent. Okay, so we're going to take out about 6 slices at this point, and we're going to add them to the meat. Since the meat is piping hot, it'll melt this down nicely, and we can put this all throughout the meat at this point before we get the sauce on it. Then the cheese can adhere to the meat. Okay. Whoops. Okay. And like I said, you're just going to put that in there to melt that real good. Now go ahead and turn this down. Now these are the opposite of ours. When you're turning it down, you're going to be turning it the opposite way that we normally turn ours. Okay. So go ahead and get the rest of this cheese melted down. Got a couple more slices I need to get in here. Yeah. If you so choose, you can pour some of that oil off of your meat if you like. I'm not going to, just because I'm using a very basic sauce, and I'm going to let that fat be a part of the flavor. Okay, I'm going to let that be a part of the flavor, so that's going to help give it an, you know, fat from meat is always going to give anything an excellent flavor. So we're going to keep that in there. Now this mixture too can also be used to make tacos, tortas, just about anything where you're going to need that ground beef mixture. And see, we added that cheese, this inside of a torta, and then put it in the oven and bake it. Oh, that would be wonderful. Just really delicious. See that? Now right there, that's excellent. See, now the cheese has adhered to the meat. So there you go. It won't get lost in the sauce. Ha ha ha. Okay. So now we're going to concentrate on getting this spaghetti ready. We've turned the heat down on the meat. We'll let that sit. Okay. Okay, and we're going to see what we're working with this spaghetti. Okay, that spaghetti. Nice and done. Not too done because we don't want it to be mushy. So we're going to pour the water off of this and start adding the sauce. Okay, we're going to start adding the sauce first. The sauce that we made up with the avocado in it. And just take your spatula in there and get any that you have left out of there. Want to get all of that. Yeah. Okay, and we're going to get all that in there. Okay. Okay. And then we're going to add our sauce. And this is just the rest of that sauce that was in that carton. Go ahead and pour that in there. Yeah. 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 And if you're not sure you get all the sauce out, you can always cut that box open and make sure all the sauce was gotten. And we're just going to go ahead and mix this around. Now at this point, if you have any vegetarian guests or anything, at this point you can take some sauce and spaghetti out for them. And then you can add like a veggie medley to it. So then they also can have a nice spaghetti dish. Okay, we have added that around. And now it's time for us to go ahead and add the meat mixture to this. Okay, let's get the meat, and here we go. Oh, that's just beautiful. Look at that. Oh, that is lovely. Smells wonderful. Oh, yes. Look at there. Now, you can always opt to add chilies and things, but for who I cook for is Debo. He doesn't eat a lot of hot so I don't add it. But you could, and it will be just as good. The poblano peppers is about all he can take, and they have a sweet flavor versus a hot. Okay, so we're just mixing this around. Yeah, that's just beautiful. Look at that. It's beautiful. Now at this point, we're going to do our taste test, and if you'll know what you need. Let me see what I'm going to need. That's a hard one. Let me see. I don't know, y'all. It might be good just the way it is. Yep. I say we did a good job. Okay. Your sauce will not be as red because we inundated that avocado with it. Okay. So if you want to redden up your sauce, you can add a little pimento to it, and it'll give it a richer, richer color to it also. But at this point, I think it tastes lovely. Now we're going to get a real spoon or a real fork of this and see what we're working with for real. Get a little spaghetti and all the little fixings on here with it. Okay, let's see what we're doing. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So go ahead and try this out. See how you like it. Thank you for everybody who came. Current subscribers and new subscribers, go ahead and push that red subscribe and join the family. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Bye-bye.